This video is on section 2.3 notes, metric to US customary conversions, and vice versa. So metric units are the only international units, so all of the US customary units are defined in terms of the metric system in these notes. And that's what you'll notice too if you look at your conversion table that you have for the US customary unit, you have one unit, and then for the metric, you have the other number. And when I see work being shown for your tests and other types of assessments, I should always see these specific conversions for when you're doing your unity fractions and things like that, as opposed to other ones that you can find online, and that way I know you're not Googling them as you're taking assessments, but you're actually using the ones from these conversion tables and you're doing the work on your own. All right, so the first examples say convert each of the following metric lengths in measurements into US customary length measurements and vice versa. And then to round, because all of these answers are always going to require rounding since the measurements are kind of messy. And so we're always going to round the appropriate number of significant digits, or in most cases we'll round according to the significant digits. So this one says to convert from yards into meters. And so I'm going to say 4.3 yards. And then I'm going to look for the yards to meters conversion. Yards to meters, 0.9144 meters. 1 yard. I'm going to cancel out the yards measurement. 0.9144 meters. The number has 2 significant digits, and so I'm going to make sure my answer has 2 significant digits. So 2 significant digits would be 3.9. 3.9 meters. 2.50 inches to millimeters. So 2.50 inches. I don't have an inches to millimeters conversion, but I have an inches to centimeters conversion. So here I'm going to look up from centimeters to millimeters. I just have to take the decimal and move it 1 to the right. So I'm going to say this is 25.4 millimeters, and I'm just going to add this onto my conversion table, and then I can go ahead and use it. 1 inch is 25.4 millimeters. So my inches will cancel. This number has 3 significant digits. The 0 at the end is not for a whole number, it's for a decimal number, and so it is significant. So 2.50 times 25.4, 63.5 millimeters. All right, for the next one, 6.0 kilometers to miles. So 6.0, that's a whole number, but they put that 0.0 and they made it a decimal number for us. We have 2 significant figures, and we're going to convert into miles. So kilometers to miles would be 1 mile to 1.6093 kilometers. So 1 mile is 1.6093 kilometers. And I have 2 significant digits in the original problem. And the kilometers cancel, and so I end up with miles, 3.7 miles. 140 centimeters to feet. So centimeters to feet, 30.48 centimeters is 1 foot. Sorry, I keep hitting my microphone. 30.48 centimeters is 1 foot. The centimeters cancel, so I'll divide those. 140 divided by 30.48. Now 140 is a whole number with a 0 on the end, so the 0 on the end is not a significant digit. That means that this number has 2 significant digits, and so we have 4 point whatever the number after the decimal should be, and it's a 5, but the 5 is followed by a 9, so I should be rounding up, which means I'm going to get 4.6 feet. 1.2 meters to feet. I don't have meters to feet exactly, but I do have centimeters to feet, so I can convert this centimeters into meters. So centimeters, I'll move the decimal 2 places to the left to get meters. So 0.3048 meters is equivalent to 1 foot. 0.3048 meters is 1 foot. And so the meters are going to cancel. I can see from my original number that I have 2 significant digits here, and so I'm going to have 2 significant digits in my answer. 3.9. All right, same thing, we're converting the metric weight measurements into US customary weight measurements, and we're going to round according to significant digits. So first we have 75 grams into ounces. 28.35 grams is 1 ounce. So I know the grams are going to cancel, and my new units are going to be ounces, so I'll divide these numbers. The original number has 2 significant digits, and so my number needs to have 2 significant digits. So it'll be 2.6. I'm keeping this as a 6 because the 6 is followed by a 4, which tells me to keep the number and not round up. So 2.6 ounces. 1.4 T to kilograms, and there's a note down here. It says the abbreviation for ton, capital T, is the same as the abbreviation for tablespoon, also capital T. The abbreviation for metric ton, lowercase t, is the same as the abbreviation for teaspoon, also lowercase t. So whenever it is not clear if you're working with weight or liquid capacity, so weight being tons or liquid capacity, well, yeah, being tablespoons or teaspoons, always spell out your desired unit because that's going to make a difference. All right, so here we're talking about tons. That's the context of what we're doing. So 1.4 tons, and we're converting that into kilograms. So 1 ton is 907.2 kilograms. We said 907.2 kilograms, so that goes on top. We want to get rid of the tons. And here I can see that I do have a 0 on the end, but this is not for a whole number. This is for a decimal number, which means that the 0 is a significant digit. So this number has 3 significant digits. So if I want my number to have 3 significant digits, then the first 3 numbers are significant, and the 4th number is not. So if that had been like a 5 or something, I would have had to round it, and I'm not going to be able to include any decimals at all. I'm going to have a whole number. It's going to have a 0 on the end so that I can have significant digits that are only 3, not 4. So 1,270 with no decimals gives me a number with 3 significant digits and a 0 that is not significant. Kilograms. Okay. Pounds into grams. So if we look here, pounds into grams, we have pounds into kilograms. And so I'm going to look up here, kilograms to grams. I need to move my decimal 1, 2, 3 places to the right. So 1, 2, 3 places to the right would be 453.6 grams. And I'm just going to keep that so I have that on my conversion sheet. So 0.075 pounds. And we know that 1 pound is 453.6 grams is what I just figured out by moving my decimal place. And so the pounds will cancel with the pounds. Now this is a decimal number, so any zeros on the left are not significant. So I just have 2 significant digits here. So 0.075 times 453.6. 2 significant digits means I only get the first 2 numbers. I don't get to have the decimals. So 34 grams. All right, 15,000 grams into pounds. And we're going to use this same conversion we just did, the grams and pounds. So we're going to cancel out the grams, we're going to introduce the pounds, and it was 1 pound for 453.6 grams. And I can look at my table, I had added this number in here, 1 pound, 453.6 grams. I'm going to divide those. Now this is a whole number with zeros on the end, and so the zeros are not significant digits, only the 1 and the 5 are, so I only get 2 digits in my answer. That means over here for the decimals, I don't get to have any of these decimals right here. I have to stop after the whole number. So 33, I should not be rounding up. I'm just going to keep this at 33 pounds. All right, 1.5 kilograms into ounces. I'm going to look for a measurement here. Ounces converts to grams, so I need to see what this is in kilograms. So for grams, I'm going to move my decimal 1, 2, 3 places to the left to get kilograms. So 0.02835 kilograms. So 0.02835 kilograms is the same as 1 ounce. And then my kilograms are going to cancel. My original number has 2 significant digits, and so that's what I'm going to have, and I should be dividing. 0.02835. So 52, no decimals. I don't get to have any decimals if I'm having 2 significant digits in my answer. But the 52 is followed by a 0.9, so I'm going to write 53. This is going to be 53 ounces. Okay. And then last, we have 4 pounds, 5 ounces, and we're converting that into kilograms. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the 4 pounds, 5 ounces and just write this as just ounces total. So I have 5 ounces. I'm going to convert 4 pounds into ounces. So that is a U.S. customary conversion. So I'm going to look at the front of my table. Pounds converted into ounces is right here at the top. 1 pound is 16 ounces. 1 pound is 16 ounces. And so 4 pounds is 64 ounces. So 4 pounds and 5 ounces is 69 ounces total. So we're converting 69 ounces total into kilograms. 69 ounces total into kilograms. Okay, so now I'm going to look back at my US and metric conversion, ounces and kilograms, and that's the one I'm going to be using. So 1 ounce is the same as 0.02835 kilograms. And I'm going to use the appropriate number of significant digits. And here I know I can see one number and one number, but this was really 2 significant digits, and so that's what I'm going to use. And that feels a little bit like a trick problem, so I would not do something like this in a testing situation without being more specific for you guys, so you don't have to worry about this in a testing situation. 02835. Okay, so 2 significant digits. 1.9, the 9 is followed by a 5, so 1.9 is going to round to 2.0 for 2 significant digits, kilograms. Okay. All right, let's go to the next page. Convert these area measurements. So here we have 15 square feet, we're converting into square meters. So square feet into square meters, 0.0929. And you can write SQ, or you can write that it's meters squared. Either one is fine. So the square feet are going to cancel out. We have 2 significant digits, so I'm going to have 2 significant digits in my answer. So 1.4 significant. So 1.4 is the answer with 2 significant digits. 1.4 meters squared. Hectares, I think, maybe is how you pronounce that. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. 5.80 means that we have 3 significant digits. The 0 on the end is not significant if you're talking about a whole number, but we're not. We're talking about a decimal here. So 0.405 hectares is 1 acre. And we're going to have 3 significant digits. So 14.3 acres. All right, so square yards we're converting into square meters. 1 square yard is 0.836 square meters. And 78.0 means we're going to have 3 significant digits. So 65.2. All right, square centimeters into square inches. Square inches, square centimeters, 6.452. Square centimeters to 1 square inch. So 11 has 2 significant digits, so that's how many we're going to have in our answer. 1.7 square inches. All right, next we have some volume and liquid values that we're converting. So 5.5 gallons into liters. And you can see that 1 gallon is 3.785 liters. This has 2 significant digits, so our answer is going to have 2 significant digits. So 2 significant digits gives us just the whole number portion. 20 is followed by a 0.8, and so we're going to write 21. So 21 liters. 125 milliliters into fluid ounces. So we have to compare milliliters to fluid ounces. Here we go, fluid ounces, milliliters. So we've got 29.574 milliliters, 1 fluid ounce. Our original number has 3 significant digits, and so our answer is going to have 3 significant digits. So we get 2 numbers here, so 4.23 fluid ounces. Liters into quarts, 5.1 liters, we're converting into quarts. Quarts and liters. So 0.946 liters, 1 quart. Our original number has 2 significant digits, and so our answer is going to have 2 significant digits. 5.1 divided by 0.946. So 5.4 quarts. T here is going to be tablespoons, teaspoons, lowercase t is teaspoons, into milliliters. So 6 teaspoons into milliliters. We can see that 1 teaspoon is 5 milliliters. 1 teaspoon is 5 milliliters. Here we only get 1 significant digit. So teaspoons cancel. 6 times 5 is 30 milliliters. And lucky for us, we can just use that number. This is a 2-digit number, but there's a 0 on the end, so only one of the digits is significant. All right, and then here we have some compound measurements, metric speed measurements that we're going to be converting into US customary or vice versa. So with these compound measurements, first we have feet per second. And we're going to be converting that into meters per minute. So we need a conversion for meters, feet and meters. So feet and meters, we have these conversions right here that we used before. So I'm going to say 1 foot is 0.3048 meters. Once I do that conversion, I'm going to have units of meters per second. Now I need to convert into minutes. So I need to get rid of the seconds, and I need to introduce the minutes. And so there are 60 seconds for 1 minute. And so that will cancel out the seconds and introduce the minutes. And then I'll end up with units that are meters per minute. And so that will be correct. My final answer for significant digits should have 2 significant digits. So 2.4 times 0.3048 times 60. 2 significant digits would be the 43 is going to round up to a 44. So 44 meters per minute. All right, 285 kilometers per hour. 285 kilometers per 1 hour. We're going to convert it to miles per hour. So the time units do not need to change. It's per hour and per hour. Those are going to stay the same. All we have to convert is kilometers into miles. So if I look at my length measurement, kilometers into miles is 1.6093 into 1. Get rid of kilometers, introduce hours. 1.6093. Sorry, I wasn't introducing hours, I was introducing miles. Okay, getting rid of kilometers, introducing miles. So 1.6093 kilometers per 1 mile. Kilometers are going to cancel, and so my units are going to be miles per hour. And then when I write my answer, I'm going to have 3 significant digits. So 285 divided by 1.6093, 177 miles per hour. And you can write miles per hour like this, or you can write mph. Both of them are fine. 18 inches per second converted to centimeters per second. So both of those say per second, so that's the same time unit. So all we have to do is convert the inches into centimeters. So 18 inches per 1 second. We're going to convert from inches. We're going to get rid of inches. We're going to introduce centimeters. Okay, so 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. 2.54 centimeters, 1 inch. And so the inches are going to cancel, and we're going to end up with centimeters per second, which is what we want. I'm going to multiply these together, and I know that my final answer should have 2 significant digits. 45.72. So 45 is what I'm going to use, but it's 0.7, so I should round this up to 46. So 46 centimeters per second. You can write centimeters per second as an S, or you can write SEC. Both of those are, kind of interchangeable. People tend to write either of those. All right. Over here, we got centimeters per second. We're converting into miles per hour, so we're going to have to convert our length measurement, but we're also going to be converting our time measurement. So 1,240 centimeters per 1 second. So first, I'll go ahead and convert centimeters into miles. Centimeters into miles. Let's see. Centimeters to miles is hard. Kilometers to miles, I can do that. So I'm going to figure out how many centimeters this is. So kilometers right here. To figure out how many centimeters, I have to take that and move the decimal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places to the right. And then I'll know the same number of centimeters this is instead of kilometers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll need a 0 on the end. So if you take kilometers, move the decimal 5 places to the right, then you have the correct number of centimeters. So that many centimeters is equivalent to 1 mile. Okay, so centimeters and miles. 1 mile is equivalent to 160,930 centimeters. So now I've converted it out of centimeters into miles per second. Now I want to convert this into miles per hour, so I want to get rid of the seconds and introduce hours. And 1 hour was 3,600 seconds. 1 hour is 3,600 seconds. So the seconds will cancel, and then we'll have miles per hour when we're done. Based on this original number, I can see that it's 4 digits, but the end number is a 0, which is not significant in a whole number. And so this is going to be 3 digits, or 3 significant digits when I'm done. So 1240 times 3600 divided by 160930. So 3 significant digits would be 27.7 miles per hour, or you could write mph. All right, next we're going to look at converting temperatures. So we're going to convert between Fahrenheit and Celsius. And when you convert between Fahrenheit and Celsius, you cannot use unity fractions. They don't convert evenly. 1 degree in Fahrenheit is not the same as 1 degree in Celsius. And so, what we're going to do for this is while there is conversion formulas, we are not going to use them. We're just going to look at this table and we're going to convert them that way. And I'll show you several examples so you can see what I mean. So the first conversion we're going to do is 375 degrees in Fahrenheit is what in Celsius? So we're going to find 375 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the left side of the temperature gauge. You can see there's 4 columns, so we don't have just like one really long temperature gauge. So I'm looking for 375. It's right here. And so 375 in Fahrenheit would be between 175 and 200 in Celsius. And I can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 lines to go a total of 25 degrees. And so that means that right here, the lines are going by 5. So they're going 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So 180, 185, 190. So that's 190 degrees Celsius. 14 degrees Celsius is how many degrees Fahrenheit? So we're going to look where 14 would be, right over here. Here I can see that between 10 and 15, these degrees do not go by 5s. Between 10 and 15, these are going to be going by 1s. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 14 is right here. 55 to 60. So that goes by 1s. 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. 14 degrees is a little bit above 57. I'm just going to say 57. 37 degrees Celsius. So let me find the 37. So here's 30 to 35. These are going by 1s. 35, 36, 37 is right here. This is kind of in the middle, it looks like. 95 to 100. I can see these are going by 1s. 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. So you could put 98.5, 98, 99. All of those would be good answers. I'm going to say 99 degrees Fahrenheit. Negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit is negative 40 degrees Celsius. They happen to be equal right there. 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So looking, there's 80. 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so here's 25, here's 30. So these lines are going by 1s. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. This is a little bit closer to the 27 than it is to the 26. And so I'm going to call this 27. Negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's see, here's the negative 20 right there. Negative 30, negative 25. So negative 25, negative 26, negative 27, negative 28, negative 29, negative 30. So that'd be negative 29 right here. 80 degrees Celsius is right here. So from 170 to 180, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 spaces to go from 170 to 180. So these spaces should be going by 2. So 172, 174, 176, 178, 180. So this is about 176. 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's see. There's 65, there's 70. So between these, there's 5 spaces and there's 5 numbers. So they're going by ones. 66, 67, 68. It's right there. So 68 degrees Fahrenheit is 20 degrees Celsius. 525 degrees Fahrenheit. It's all the way over here. 525 is just under, but is very close to 275 Celsius. 275 degrees Celsius. And then negative 14 degrees Celsius is how many Fahrenheit? So Celsius is over here. Negative 10, negative 11, 12, 13, negative 14. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 6, so 7 right here. It's about 7 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you think about what we just noticed, we saw over here that here the degree measures went up by 5. Here the degree measures went up by 1s, and they were in the negatives. We had spaces, these were by 1s as well. Over here in these spaces, they went up by 2s. So depending on what your degree measures are, each of the little divots that are there they mean different things. So just be careful when you're doing the conversions using the pictures like that you're not assuming it means the same thing every single time. All right. Last page, we're going to do some example problems and then we'll be finished with this video. So it says, suppose a patient was given 30 milliliters of a liquid medication twice a day when he was in the hospital. If he continues this dose at home, how many tablespoons per day will the patient take? So 30 milliliters of a liquid medication twice a day. So let's figure out how many milliliters he's taking in one day. So 30 milliliters twice a day would be 60 milliliters for one day, per day. And we want to figure out how many tablespoons that is. So we're going to take this, we're going to look at our liquids, and we're going to look at milliliters to tablespoons, 15 milliliters to 1 tablespoon. We want to cancel out the milliliters. We want to introduce the tablespoons. We know that 1 tablespoon is 15 milliliters. So we have the milliliters will cancel. 60 divided by 15. That's 4 tablespoons of the medication per day. All right, next. For 2016 and 17, the European Union projected an average wheat yield of 5.83 metric tons per hectare. I'm going to write that 5.83 metric tons is the little t per 1 hectare, okay? The U.S. projection for the same time period was 51.3 bushels per acre. Bushels per 1 acre, where 1 bushel of wheat weighs approximately 60 pounds. 1 bushel equals 60 pounds. Okay. Compare these projected yields and then round your answer to the appropriate number of significant digits. So let's see. We've got 51.3 bushels per acre. And they told us how many pounds this is, so let's see how many pounds per acre we have. So I'm going to do 51.3 bushels per 1 acre. And I'm going to get rid of the bushels measurement and introduce the pounds measurement. 60 pounds per 1 bushel. So 3078, this is pounds per acre, 3,078 pounds per acre. So we want to take this over here and convert these metric tons per hectare into pounds per acre. All right, so I want to convert a metric ton into a pound. Metric tons into pounds. Okay, so it looks like metric tons and kilograms, they put it on 2 lines, but these are all the same. So 1 ton is 907.2 kilograms, which is the same as 0.9072 metric tons. And then kilograms you can convert into pounds. So we could take the metric tons and convert it into kilograms, and then from the kilograms then we could convert it into pounds. So that'll be beneficial. We'll get it converted into pounds. And then I'm going to go ahead and write that down before I lose it from my brain. So I've got 0.9072 metric tons is 907.2 kilograms. So there I converted it into kilograms. It's no longer in metric tons. And now I want to convert it from kilograms into pounds. So kilograms into pounds. I'm going to get rid of kilograms. I'm going to introduce pounds. Okay, so when we're done with this, we're going to know how many pounds it is per hectare, but we're going to want to convert that into acres. Oh, I just lost it. Okay, 5.83 times 907.2 divided by 0.9072 divided by 0.4536. Okay, and now I'm going to convert this into acres. So we have 1 acre per 0.405 hectare. So I'm going to take that number and multiply by 0.405. Okay, so this is our answer, and we have to round this according to the correct number of significant digits. So in the problem, we have 5.83 metric tons, 51.3 bushels, and so these are 3 significant digits, and so I'm going to round to 3 significant digits. So 1, 2, 3, so 3 decimal places, well, not 3 decimal places, but the first 3 numbers are what I'm going to get. So 5 to the 5 here is going to round this up to a 1. So 5210. So 5,200, and then I had to round to the tens place. So it rounded from a 0 to a 1 because it was followed by a 5. So I'm rounding to the nearest tens place instead of rounding to the nearest ones place. 5 to 1, and then the number on the end has to be a 0 because that has to be not a significant digit. So 5,210 pounds per acre compared with 3,078 pounds per acre. So that's the comparison of the projected yields. So we were changing them to be the same units so we could compare and see which one is bigger. The one in the European Union has a larger projected yield for the years 2016 and 2017. That was a lot of work for that one answer. All right. Last problem. The density of steel is 7,850 kilograms per cubic meter. In the U.S. customary system, this would be expressed as pounds per cubic foot. Perform the conversion. So 7,850 kilograms per 1 cubic meter. We're going to convert it into pounds per cubic foot. Okay. So kilograms have to be converted to pounds. We're getting rid of kilograms. We're introducing pounds. 1 pound is 0.4536 kilograms. So now we have pounds per cubic meter, and we want to get rid of cubic meters and introduce cubic feet. So we have pounds per cubic foot. So cubic meter, that's cubic yard. It looks like we only have this. Okay. So I'm going to say 0.765 cubic meters is 1 cubic yard. And then I'm going to have to convert it from a cubic yard into a cubic foot just because I don't have that comparison. Okay, so cubic yard into a cubic foot. One cubic yard is 27 cubic feet. Okay, so meters cubed are going to cancel, yards cubed are going to cancel. We're going to end up with pounds per cubic foot, which is what we want. So I'm multiplying the numbers that are on the top, and I'm dividing by 0.4536. And then I'm dividing by 27. Okay, and it said round to the nearest whole number. So 490.3, the nearest whole number is just 490. So 490 pounds per cubic foot.